Good evening and welcome to today's episode of our lecture, Chem 101. Here we are going to look at the course chemistry. What is chemistry? Chemistry is the science of matter. Science of matter. And then what is matter? Matter is said to be anything that has a mass and occupy space. Anything, just anything. It can be your pen, it can be your book, it can be your textbook, it can be your biro, it can be your not, just anything. Anything that has a mass and occupies space is said to be matter. So chemistry can therefore be defined as the science of everything. It can therefore be defined as the science of everything. Now, matter are classified into four states. What are the states? There are the solid, the liquid, the gas, and the plasma. The solid, the liquid, the gas, and the plasma. Now we go look at the foundation of matter itself. What the what is matter made up of? John Dalton in 1807 succeeded in saying that matter is made up of atom, and succeeded in his atomic theory that matter is made up of that an atom is the smallest indivisible particle of an element, the smallest indivisible particle. And at the same time, he also said that an atom can neither be created nor destroyed during chemical reaction. But however, because of advances in science and knowledge, some of this theory has been debunked. It is now believed that atom is no longer the smallest, the so-called smallest and indivisible particle, but the atom itself is made up of other particles, smaller particles, like the proton, the neutron, and the electron. Now let us look at the discoverers of these fundamental particles. These particles, the solid, the proton, the electron, and the neutron, are known as the fundamental particles. Let us look at the discoverers of these fundamental particles. One of them is J.J. Thomson. In 1897, he performed an experiment using a ray tube, a tube, and they call that ray tube a cathode ray tube. He was able to discover a beam, that is a beam emanating, a greenish beam precisely, emanating from the cathode end of the tube to the anodic end of the tube. And he called that ray cathode ray. And when you subject this ray to magnetic field, you subject it to electric field, you discover that it is purely electron. So it can be said that J.J. Thomson in 1897 discovered the electron. At the same time, he performed another experiment, and he was able to also discover a proton, which is said to be anodic ray. That is a ray emanating from the anodic end of the tube to the cathodic end. And hence, he called that ray anodic ray or proton. And it has all the properties of a proton. These two particles, the proton and the electron, were easily discovered within this period. That it took some time to discover the neutron, which is neutral, because it is not affected by electric field, neither is it affected by a magnetic field. Hence, it's a bit difficult to discover. But however, James Chadwick in 1937 discovered the neutron. Another discoverer, another pioneer in this area is Ernest Rutherford. Ernest Rutherford was able to capture or portray the picture of an atom using his Gottlieb experiment. We call it alpha particle scattering experiment in 1991. He performed this experiment. He bombarded a gold leaf with an alpha particle, and at the end of the day, was able to come to the conclusion that the atom itself is made up of a very tiny central nucleus containing the proton and the neutron, and an electron occupying a larger space revolving around the proton. In our subsequent lecture after this, we'll be able to look at the contribution of some other pioneers in this area of chemistry that help us to understand atom better, and at the same time, uh, some other fundamental particles. Thank you for listening.